Okay, welcome back to the last episode of our Vuelta playthrough on PCM 25. Starting off with a shocking second place for Filippo Ganna in GC with only 3 stages to come. That's crazy. But our lead on Joao Almeida in 3rd place is only 33 seconds, so that's nothing. So I think keeping that second place will be impossible. That said, with a gap of 2 minutes 38 to Jai Hindley in 4th place, I would like to keep our podium. That is my goal for today. And this entire Vuelta, including our podium, will be decided on stage 20 to Bola del Mundo. A climb of 13k at 8%, but a max gradient of 15%. That climb is absolutely brutal. But fast we're taking on stage 19, an easier stage, basically a versatile sprint. Not exactly a surprise, but Mes Pedersen is the favorite. But our man, Filippo Ganna, is third favorite, so let's try to win this. It's time to hunt for a 5th stage win in this Vuelta. Now, I don't think the break will win this stage, but to be sure, I'll put Kwiatkowski in the breakaway to make sure I don't have to ride behind the breakaway all day. Actually, a pretty solid breakaway, a minute 30 to a group of 12 riders with solid riders like Stefan Kung and Mikhail Kwiatkowski, our rider. At the moment, Visma Leasebike is setting a controlling tempo in the peloton, but not exactly a tempo that is desperate to catch the breakaway, so this break might have a chance. Just about 45 kilometers later, and the peloton is now 4 minutes 20 behind the breakaway, so the gap is slowly but surely expanding. I'm starting to believe in this breakaway. Okay, halfway the race, the gap is 7 minutes with 76 kilometers to go, so I think the break is winning. So, I've gone through the entire group and Stefan Kung seems to be the best sprinter here. 71 sprint stat, we've got 67 but 73 acceleration, so if it comes down to a sprint, it will be quite close. Ooh, we got some attacks. I need to get in the wheel of Sepulveda. Let's do so. Let's try and spend as little red energy as possible, but there comes the next attack in the wheel of Arcas. Come on, boys. Oh snap, 9 kilometers to go, an attack by Stefan Kung. I need to try and make sure I can bridge towards that man because that is a dangerous move. I was hoping the group would relatively stick together, but that is not working. Come on, guys. Relay with me. We gotta catch Stefan. 4.2 kilometers to go. The gap is 40 seconds. He's got unlimited energy. He's a time trialist, so I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that he's getting away so easily. There comes my attack with 3.3 kilometers to go. I'm gonna try and hunt him down on 87 now. We've got 10 seconds on the group behind, and now they cooperate properly. Can I get towards Stefan Kung? I don't think I will. I messed up. I should have been in his wheel, but I wasn't. I'm gonna enter the last kilometer 40 seconds behind, so Stefan Kung is gonna be winning stage 19 of this Vuelta a España. Ay. Mikhail Kwiatkowski will finish second, which is a solid result, but yeah, I wanted that victory. There comes Filippo Ganna in the peloton taking some time on the rest, I see. Ooh la la! We've got a gap on the peloton with Ganna, so hopefully roughly 10 seconds. I gotta say, finishing second in a breakaway stage, that does hurt. But Filippo Ganna did take some time at the finish line, so we're now further away from Almeida and Hindley, so I'm not complaining. I truly believe that this podium is possible. Ganna can podium La Vuelta. Anyway, one thing is certain, Filippo Ganna will be taking home this green jersey because his lead is gigantic. Anyway, second place, but this stage was simply the starter for today's episode because the next stage, that will be a banger. It is time for stage 20, next to Angliru, a queen stage in this Vuelta, finishing on Bola del Mundo. And once again, not a surprise, Jonas Vingegaard is the favorite. But before we start, I do have to humble us a little bit. Our rider, Filippo Ganna, is 71 mountain stat only, so no crazy actions on the stage, no breakaway, no crazy attacks on the second last climb. My dude is in survival mode. With a single goal, keeping Jai Hindley 2 minutes 48 behind us by the end of the stage. In GC, that is. I don't think I'll beat him in the stage. I am both excited and terrified here, so let's jump in and give it our best. So, starting off with a +1 on Filippo Ganna, so 74 mountain stat, that's pretty good. -2 on Sheffield, -1 on Bernal, so not exactly perfection when it comes to our domestiques, and I think I'll send Sheffield and Kwiatkowski into the breakaway as satellite riders for Ganna, basically giving them a head start so they can help Ganna on the final climb. Ironically, in this breakaway, Kwiato has a 75 mountain stat, so the same mountain stat as Sheffield, but better secondaries for Kwiatkowski, so he might be our better man in this breakaway. But I do think that because this breakaway is only 10 riders, that the peloton is most likely gonna win on Bola del Mundo. And Visma Leasebike's already setting a controlling tempo in the peloton with Zangler, so they want that win. But to be honest, I don't care too much about this breakaway winning the stage because my focus for today is simply Filippo Ganna. He's all that matters. Wait a second, Sepp Kuss suffered a bad fall and will have to leave the race, so Sepp Kuss has abandoned the race. Then again, not that it matters because I don't think Jonas Vingegaard needs his teammates here. I swear he could win this Vuelta with his eyes closed, riding backwards without a single teammate. Anyway, in the last 60 kilometers and the breakaway has 5 minutes on the peloton just before the second last climb, the Puerto de Navacerrada, which already has quite steep segments in there, so we'll have to look after Ghana on that one. Because if there's something worse than dropping on Bola del Mundo, it's dropping on the second last climb. In the break, Kwiatkowski is actually doing pretty well when it comes to his energy, but Sheffield is almost done for. But I gotta make sure I follow over the top here, so let's follow the attacks for the KOM points here. There we go, over the top, but we are dropped by the front riders, so we're definitely not the best climber in this breakaway. In the peloton, Ghana is also in the final kilometer of this climb, but his energy, he's spending quite a bit of energy just to stay in position, so that's not epic. The front of the race is now Tiberi, Pidcock, Tejada and Ryan with a gap of 16 seconds on Godou and Buchmann, so they will come back, and hopefully our man will come back as well. Kwiatkowski now on 50 seconds. We've got about a 10-kilometer valley to get back to the front. But I don't like that Garcia, Cortina and Fagundes are doing nothing to help me here, so I'm basically just wasting energy on Kwiatkowski. By the way, the gap to the peloton is 7 minutes 40, so this break is winning the stage. Anyway, Kwiato is back, but let's try and recover some energy now, because I need to. Okay, the final climb is starting. Bola del Mundo, 13 kilometers at 8%. The last part is the steepest, but we've got attacks from the foot. I don't care too much. I'm all about Filippo Ganna, so Kwiatkowski is not hunting for the stage, he's simply a rider up the road. Meanwhile, Filippo Ganna starting this climb in a relatively okay position, so that is nice, but it's all about spending as little energy as possible here, so let's not overdo it at the start. Kwiatkowski is basically done for, so he can literally drop back at the moment to replenish that yellow bar to make sure he can help our team once we get there with Ganna. So that's the plan now. Filippo Ganna still in a good position, but spending so much yellow bar already, so I'm not feeling too good about this. There we go, 8 kilometers to go in the peloton, and Kwiatkowski is now with Filippo Ganna and helping out, but we are barely holding on to the back of the group and spending so much yellow bar just staying here. Filippo Ganna, we need the best climb of your life. 2 minutes 48 on Hindley. We have to defend that. And with 5 kilometers to go, Filippo Ganna is officially dropped by the peloton, but that is tactically, because if I don't get dropped now, my energy will be gone with 3 kilometers to go and he will explode. So we gotta make sure we can do our own tempo towards the top. 4 kilometers to go. Come on, Ganna. In the last 3 kilometers, we still have energy left, but the gap towards the GC riders is 1 minute 50 at the moment. So it's close, it's close, it's close. Jai Hindley has 2 minutes 10 on the road right now, but I feel like he's gonna be out of energy soon. I'm hoping he is, because otherwise we are in trouble. Jungels can now try to protect Ganna into the last 1.5 kilometers. Let's do 77, something like that, but Hindley is done when it comes to his energy. Yes, indeed. So this is fantastic. With a kilometer to go, it looks like Tom Pidcock won the stage. I missed it. Vingegaard has finished, but more importantly, we are closing down Jai Hindley slowly but surely in this last kilometer, and we're going to secure that podium position. There we go, Jai Hindley finishing on 3:25, and just behind him, Filippo Ganna with some energy left. So we've done it with ease, with absolute ease. We secured our podium in this La Vuelta. I'll be honest, when the gap went up to 2 minutes, I started to stress, but we survived. Ganna did great, and I'm happy. It is Tom Pidcock winning on Bola del Mundo. We finished not in the top 10, but we finished pretty well in GC. Let's take a look. There we go, third place on just 40 seconds of Almeida. So in a dream world, it wouldn't have been impossible if we played a little bit better in this Vuelta to finish second. And actually, Jai Hindley doesn't just not take the podium, he drops down to 5th. Mikel Landa surpasses him. And like, I could choose to be sad about losing my second place to Almeida, but I deemed it impossible to keep that second place in the first place. So getting third in this Vuelta with Ganna is crazy. I am super happy with that outcome. But of course, to bring home this GC result, we have to survive one more stage, a sprint stage. Stage 21, the last stage, is only 100 kilometers, completely flat, and not a surprise, but Jasper Philipsen is the favorite. But Filippo Ganna is third favorite, so let's bring this one home, come on. Okay, most likely we don't take this one home, but I'm trying to manifest it, okay?
12 seconds later.
Okay, Ganna, come on. Come on, man. I'm trying to manifest a victory, and you show up with a -1 on the day? What are you doing, bro? Come on. 77 sprint stat, though, so I reckon we can work with that. But also Ben Turner with +2 race day conditions, so 76 sprint stat, 75 acceleration, so maybe better than Ghana. Anyway, last 17 kilometers and my sprint train is on the rails, and as you can see, I'm going for Ben Turner for once, because the green jersey of Ghana is basically secure, and Turner's acceleration is significantly better, so I reckon I'll give it a try. Why not? Come on, 4 kilometers to go. Sheffield takes over from Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski out of the way in this corner. Ghana in the wheel of Sheffield looking pretty good with 3 kilometers to go. Sheffield can launch his sprint right now with Ghana in the wheel. Can I get to the front? Yes, indeed. Ghana can launch his lead out right now. Too early, too early. Turner is dying in his wheel, but there goes Turner with Zangler in the wheel, but where's the competition? Where's the competition? Take the L, Peterson! Take the L! There we go! Ben Turner takes in the final stage of La Vuelta! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We bring it home! That is what we're talking about, our 5th stage win in this Vuelta to finish it off perfectly. The perfect ending to this Vuelta, especially with Filippo Ganna on the third spot of GC. Jonas Vingegaard wins La Vuelta ahead of Almeida, but the third place is for Filippo Ganna. That is crazy. And on the last mountain stage, Tom Pidcock snatches away the KOM jersey from Vingegaard, bringing that home as well. That's epic. But more importantly, Filippo Ganna, after a dominant performance throughout this entire Grand Tour, takes home the green jersey. He didn't even need the stage win on the final day. He could give it away to Turner and still take the jersey home. That is excellence. The white jersey goes to Antonio Tiberi, who snipes past the Yuzo in the last couple of stages, so that was pretty great as well. Then again, he kills cats, so I can't like him. But the saddest classification of all, Ineos Grenadiers gets second in the team classification, the most important ranking in cycling. Just kidding, nobody cares. Wow, what a stage win on that final day. Ben Turner, man, delivering. That was awesome. Honestly, whenever I start playing through a Grand Tour like this, I start off with okay, just playing through a Grand Tour, but I actually get emotionally invested in my results, and by week 2, I want to do the best I can, so I'm really happy with this outcome. But lastly, I want to thank all of you for the support on this series and on my Pro Cycling Manager videos in general, so thank you very much. But I'm afraid that's the end of today's video and the end of this Vuelta playthrough, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I might have enjoyed it more than the actual race, I won't lie. Anyway, what did you think of this Vuelta and the Vuelta in real life? What's your opinion? Drop it in the comments below. Nonetheless, as always, thanks for watching and thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time in the next video. Goodbye.